shit. All right, well.
Hi, I'm Angel. Thanks for opening and helping me with my eHarmony dating account.
This is our joint profile.
We're looking for a good time.
And we're looking to swap.
Wife swap.
We don't have wives yet, but when we get them.
It's open game.
Open game.
Oh. Little green ghouls, buddy.
This guy. You're funny. This is Angel. You know what's funny is I don't even know your last name.
Camberos.
Camberos.
Yeah.
What origin is that?
Mexican.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yeah, my parents are darker skinned people.
Are they both Mexican?
I was a curveball, yeah. My mom's mixed. I think she's like Native American. And
I was gonna say, you got those light eyes from somewhere.
yeah, I think my grandparents were, or my great grandpa was Spaniard. So I think that's where it comes from. Light hair, blue eyes.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, I've been told.
I mean, it kind of shows. So
yeah.
Evidence is mounting. But you know, that's cool. That's cool. If you didn't guess, this is not eHarmony. This is Chapter Angel. Camberos.
Camberos.
Oh, Camberos.
So yeah.
Camberos.
Yeah.
Camberos. Man. So, did you guys ever go to Spain?
Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What part?
Spain. Just right down the TJ. It's like right by.
So the sketchiest part of Mexico.
It's right there.
Did you like it at all?
Yeah, well, I was younger, so I don't really remember.
Oh, okay.
Seemed fine. It's cool.
I mean, no rules on your kid. I'm sure there's no rules for kids in Mexico. So the times that I've been anyway.
I think my parents wanted to stop going as they noticed things were changing in terms of like how ruthless it got.
Cartel.
Yeah, but so we didn't really go that much growing up. But I think I went there once when I was really young.
Wait, so you're not from Fresno?
I am from Fresno, yeah.
Okay,
I was born here.
Oh, wow.
The rest of my family's from San Diego. I just happened to be here. About 6 years ago, I moved to San Diego. They all moved back to San Diego. I went a little bit after, and then I moved back here recently.
Damn.
That's the story so far.
So they're still over there or now? They're back?
Yeah, no, everybody's over there.
Wow.
I'm the only person in my family who's here now.
I mean, I was gonna say it's cheaper, but it's starting to get up there. So
yeah, it's really weird. It is cheaper, but I think it's on the rise. Yeah, it feels like it's becoming a big city. It's one of those college towns now.
except the places all around the state are not good.
Right? They're trying. I haven't really been, like, every time I go out to new places here that weren't here when I left 6 years ago, I'm like, well, this is like way different than it used to be.
So you left for 6 years, or no? You left, 6 years.
Yeah. So I left here when I was like, I think I must have been like 18.
Oh wow.
I moved out there. Yeah.
Did you enjoy it out there more or less?
I didn't like it at first. I think thought the people were different, but people are different. There's something wrong with that. I just didn't really know how to adjust to it. And then I also wasn't like old enough to go out drinking and stuff, so I was just like drinking at home and stuff at first. But as soon as you can go to bars and stuff like that, it's a different game. It's really nice. I enjoy it. I enjoyed San Diego. I'd like to go back at some point, probably, maybe just because my family's there. But it's nice.
Yeah, it's nicer for sure.
Have you been?
San Diego? Oh yeah, I've been there a few times. I used to have a few like, what are they, like youth group leaders? They moved down there, and then like a couple years later, I went down there to visit them. It's so beautiful, so green.
Yeah, it's weird how it's like that for a city, but it does feel like fresh.
Like driving through like the highways and the freeways, it's just like, I was like, I'm in a forest. Like it's just mountains next to me, green mountains.
Yeah.
Not like yellow ones or.
Yeah, you just, I mean, on the drive from there to here, it's just so much like, it's just a change in scenery. You can see everything's like burnt. It's a desert.
It's just, it's just a difference who takes care of their stuff. I mean, that too, the desert aspect, but I don't know, maybe they're not all eco-conscious, but I feel like people more on like the coasts are more, conservative about the, we call it, or what is it, the ecosystem.
Yeah, yeah. I think
They try their best
they're just aware of that kind of stuff.
because they're there, and they see all the changes. We go back and we're like, oh man, this is different. They've seen it constantly.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like that too, because maybe it's because I think the attitude that I had being from here was like, well, it's just Fresno. I think that's kind of changing now. I think they're trying to be more proactive about it, but for a long time it's like, whatever. It seems just kind of like a dead mentality.
It's the biggest shitty town that's
Yeah,
in the middle.
right, but it's still a town. I mean, I enjoy it here now. I think I didn't like it so much when I was here as a kid. You feel stuck. I think wherever your hometown is, you feel like, oh, I can't wait to leave. But you move around a couple times and you're like, that wasn't so bad. And now that I'm back, I like it a lot.
You know what? Yeah, I used to think like, oh, I gotta get out, But honestly, it's wherever you go. You just gotta make a life wherever you go, pretty much. I think I can make a life like, fucking Kansas or whatever. It's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
it just depends what you make of it where you're at, I guess. To
Yeah.
me, anyway.
No, I think you're right, and maybe it's just that like teenage mindset. Or maybe I'm just generalizing, but I feel like I had that teenage mindset of like, man, I'm stuck here, but I'm sure everybody feels stuck when they first start out. It's like,
Well, people who have good childhoods don't. But it's all right. Me and you, we're not the exception. Don't worry.
yeah,
I'm sure
there's a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And even though sometimes they feel stuck too.
yeah. I mean, I think I wanted to move from San Diego because I started to feel like I was getting in a rut again. I think I just enjoy moving. I would have liked to move somewhere else. Not Fresno wasn't necessarily my first choice. Like if I could have moved anywhere, but the situation worked out well, and I'm glad that I moved here. I think it's been fun. But I think I just like moving. I just don't like staying put for too long.
You like the rush?
Yeah.
You're a nomad?
Oh yeah, I'd like to ideally if I could have a job where I travel, I think that would work best for me.
Sure, I mean, as this stuff dies down and people are like allowed to travel more, I'm sure you'll find something. You could find something that's like.
Yeah, it's really interesting the way everything kind of got put on hold for COVID, and I think it's still on hold now. I thought we were in the clear, but it seems like things are flaring up again, which I didn't expect. I thought it would kind of go away.
Not even as bad either. I knew there would be like another something. I just knew there'd be another something, but I didn't think it would be bad. I just thought it would be like, oh, this is annoying.
Yeah, I don't know how bad it is. I know that there's reports of it and stuff, but I don't know how much. It's just hard to tell what to trust. There's so many different sources of saying lots of different stuff, pulling everybody in different directions, and I don't really know how much of it is worth even listening to.
That's true. But if you go to if you look at Florida, I think they put out their own statistics of people are dying.
Right.
More than the last one.
Yeah,
in that state specifically.
I saw. Florida's kind of notorious for having spikes there too. I think
Florida is almost its own. It's almost like its own country.
They're doing their own thing.
Once you go to Florida lines, you're warned.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've never been there, but just from what I see, it's crazy.
I think I went to Disney World once when I was younger.
Disney World. How was that?
Well, I was younger, so I couldn't drink.
Yeah, so what's the point?
I used to get sick on rides, so I'd have to take Dramamine. So I'd just be on the rides fucking about to knock out. Because I take the non-drowsy, but man, I would still feel tired. I don't know.
Dramamine. I don't think I've ever taken Dramamine. I'm not a nauseous, or what do you call it, car sick? I don't get that.
Yeah. I used to get it bad when I was younger.
Ever been on a boat?
Yes. So I don't get sick on boats. Do get sick. I've been kayaking in the ocean.
What was that like?
It was cool. It was in San Diego actually. With my parents, we were going to go, where were we going? To some cave to see something. We made it to the mouth of the cave. And then we all just were like, nah, we gotta go back, we're sick. Literally all three of us. And on the way back, we're just throwing up.
I wonder if it was that one cave. They have that cave that has a bunch of mushrooms growing there, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, that's before I did mushrooms. So I wouldn't know.
But I think it's like notorious for having like mushrooms growing there. But,
Huh. I think I did see some people in there.
Yeah.
So,
it's
that
possible.
were like on like walking, but we didn't make it inside because
Yeah. You'll get sick.
I was like, nah, I can't hold it. It's just for. I'm like, it's just water anyway. I don't care. If the shark gets me, I could care less.
That's
That's the last thing they want. They want blood.
they like the thrashing too.
Yeah. See, that's just for fish.
So
But yeah, it was cool. Honestly, so I don't remember if it still records, but it's like that. I think it does. Yeah, the light. Yeah. Okay.
you check it.
Nah, I think that lighting is on.
Okay.
I'll check. Okay. Yeah, it is.
Still good.
Yeah, it is. Oh, jeez. But yeah, so that was fun. That's like my mom's favorite spot, San Diego.
You really? Yeah.
She just loves, cause there's like a bunch of like, like Mexican shops and so like, or like homemade tortillas. The place they make homemade tortillas and stuff. So she likes the culture and all that stuff. She likes. Isn't there a mission? Is there a mission?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she loves missions, so she likes doing all the history.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff down there. Seaport Village is really cool. It's got like that old look.
What was your spot down there?
Well, I was in Chula Vista, but that wasn't necessarily the spot to go, unless you just felt like walking. They opened up a cool bar like 10 minutes from my house that I could walk to, so I started frequenting there a little bit more towards the end. But downtown's really cool. Seaport's really cool. Ocean Beach, Pacific Beach,
I've heard of Pacific Beach.
all good. Good bars that, just kind of going all over. Balboa is really nice too. Balboa is kind of the more frequent spot to visit. There's like dog parks, museum, all kinds of stuff. Oh, they have like the birds down there too. The scooters.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, birds, special birds.
Yeah, like
what do they do?
the aviary.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, the
Jurassic Park
scooters. Yeah. They had the scooters. That was fun. But I think they stopped those for a little bit. It kind of came to a halt. When it gets water.
Yeah, for sure.
It came to a halt towards the end. Or the beginning of COVID, I should say. Towards the end when I was there.
Have you been Have you been a? You ever been a bar regular?
No, I've never been a regular anywhere. I would like to be.
That's
like,
what I was.
I walk in, hey!
Yeah.
But I never stick around for that long. I think I enjoy like I said, I guess like I'm moving around too much. I like to try new places more often, so I'll go places a couple times, but I don't think enough for them to be like, this guy's always here,
I mean, and then it's like, where? I try to think like, where would I even go that often? Other than probably like, I'm sure my McDonald's down the street. Like, maybe further than that.
Yeah, but the staff in there is always rotating, so they're not even regulars there.
That's
They would
true.
never know.
That is true. New people probably every other week.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
I think probably the closest place, there was this place called Slappy's. I went there a good amount of time. I knew one of but it was small staff, so they knew me there. But it's not really a regular, I wouldn't say. It was like, I don't know. I think to be a regular, you got to go there like a lot.
That's
And
what
I
I'm
don't think I've
saying.
ever
I don't
gone
know
there
what
enough.
constitutes regular status.
Side B.
Oh,
The flip.
B-side. Speaking of B-side, while he's not beside me, I'm going to ask. That wasn't really a good segue, but do you remember your childhood at all?
Yeah, I think I remember most of my childhood, if not all of it.
Really?
Yeah, I have a
Pretty good memory?
pretty good memory of most stuff, yeah.
Really?
I think the earliest memory I have goes back probably like And it's not like a consistent thing. It's not like I can remember everything since I was like 2 or 3. But I think the farthest back my early memory goes is probably like 2 or 3.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think I remember like my grandma feeding me in like a high chair, but I don't. It's really blurry, you know, and it's obviously not like I don't think there was, you know, obviously you don't speak or anything at that time, but I remember the place where I was and the person and just that small part of it.
That moment's in your brain, yeah.
It's really interesting.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't remember shit, but like you have these moments that are just in.
How far back does your memory go? I feel like your first memory?
Maybe like middle school.
Middle school? You remember like your elementary school or anything?
I remember
like
a little bit of it.
Okay.
But I remember like maybe a little bit of sixth grade. Yeah. I remember I was there. I remember what school. I remember some of the people there.
Okay.
Like I'll recognize some of the people like, hey, you went to elementary school. But I won't remember like, I can't, maybe even like small moments. But it's not like I remember every single moment of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I remember every single moment, but I definitely have a good amount of like elementary school in my head, yeah.
I'm trying to think how far back. Probably like 3rd grade.
That's pretty good. Yeah. We were like, what, 7? That's right.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe 8.
You said, now what'd you say you went to school? You went to elementary school. You didn't go to McKinley. I went to McKinley. There.
McKinley here?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That sucks. No, I'm just kidding. I went to Madison.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah. So then you went to LCAT.
Yeah.
Because I was right there. I went to LCAT.
Yeah.
Which was fun. It was fun. Wait, where did you graduate?
Well, I didn't go to
Oh,
LCAP the whole way through. I went on home studies around then I dropped out later on.
Nice.
Yeah, well, here I am.
You were all right.
Yeah, but let's see, how does that go? I went to McKinley, went to LCAP for a little bit, went to home studies. I think I went to West for a little bit, and I went back on home studies, and then I dropped out. When I was around 18, yeah, I was diagnosed with optic nerve glioma, which is like a tumor on my left eye. So that kind of took up most of my time, focusing on that and dealing with that.
Does that mess with your vision at all?
Yeah, I think so. It's hard to tell. I don't really have a problem with it, but they couldn't like cut into it to biopsy it or see if it had grown or anything like that, because then I would have went blind. So I was like, well, I'd rather be able to see and play it out. So I'm supposed to scan it every 2 years. But over the last 6, maybe even 8 years now, over that time it hasn't grown at all. When I was like 20, I read about how kids with tumors would take CBD oil, and this one family had this girl with a big tumor or something like that, and they gave her CBD oils and it started to shrink. So I was like, shit. So I got my medical marijuana card at like 20, and I went down to San Diego, and then I just started smoking weed, and they said that it shrunk the first time that I went there from like 0.11 centimeters to 8 millimeters. Yeah, I think they were both millimeters. 11 millimeters to 8 millimeters.
Still 3 millimeters.
Yeah, and I haven't really had any problems with it since.
Okay.
I mean, like, I still get headaches from time to time. That's the reason I went in there, because I was having headaches for like a year straight. But yeah, I think a lot of it went away. I mean, I think weed really helped me a lot through that.
That's good, man. Fucking sucks, but
yeah, it was definitely a weird detour, but I think I learned a lot within that time. It kind of made me reevaluate what I was doing with life in general. I was raised religious, and that really wasn't working for me. I think I realized that when I was like, shit, I might die, and what is any of this really doing for me with my life? And how much of the people that claim that they're, supposed to be with me because we all like the same thing, weren't by my side, didn't really care. So you really find out who's with you and who isn't when the chips are down.
They like you when you're like the same thing and doing the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's like that. So it made me like evaluate what I wanted to do for myself, at least, like, and how much I really believed in something that I didn't think was necessary. I think more of my focus is not so much on spirituality, which is this untangible thing or this personal thing for everybody. Like, it's nice. I'm not knocking spirituality or anything like that, but it's just such a personal belief for everybody, and it varies from person to person, that I think it's more important to have like a focus on humanity, or at least that's what I take away from it now. I think it's more important to focus on people than specifics of people, because, you know, I mean, Christians and Muslims aren't necessarily supposed to get along according to their own books, but people are people, and I don't have any problem with individual people, you know what I mean? And why would I? I don't care if you believe this one thing personally or not. It doesn't make any sense to me to just be like, oh, you're going to do that, so I'm just not going to talk to you. And I think I've seen that so much in my life where it's just like, I'm just not going to talk to you because of that. It's like, what's the point of being here together at this point in time if we're not focusing on each other?
Everybody just focus on where they respawn.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Second.
And I think they respond in different areas.
Yeah, second life, double prizes, you know. And it's like, well, what about this one?
Yeah.
Everybody's willing to just abandon it, and in hopes that they get a second chance, and I don't think that's worth it.
You know, I used to be religious too. I don't know how religious you are. Still, not at all.
Atheist.
Okay, I'm the same. Don't get me wrong. I would definitely hope that there is a wonderful place that we could all be in.
It would be nice.
There's nothing, you know.
Sure.
There's no evil, there's no bad, whatever. And if there is, guess what? I'm doing my best to spread love. I don't know what the other rules are. I mean, I do know what the other rules are, but fuck the other rules. I'm spreading love.
That's the main
I'm doing my best. And if he wants to fuck me for that one, whatever. Send me to hell with Lil Nas. You know.
Yeah, or how do you know it's not Anubis? You know, you know you're not gonna get your back whipped for all of eternity by a man with a dog head because you didn't follow the Egyptian rule. I mean, there's just not enough proof to think one over the other. You know, not for me at least.
I agree. Not to knock them, because I mean, religion, for some it does provide a structure to, you know, to help others. Because, like, people who maybe wouldn't know how to give back can go, hey, I know that there's a church, I can go volunteer my time at the church, whatever, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But then there are, the bad side of it is the other half, which it's probably like more, I don't know what the percentage is, but the other half is using it as a weapon or not as it's intended, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to ever try to take away a 90-year-old woman with stage 4 cancer who believes in God. I'm not going to be like, you're wrong, idiot. I'm not going to do that.
Take that
but I also don't think that people like Joel Austin, you know, closing the doors on people when there's a fucking disaster, I just don't think that's real. I just can't.
You
fall into that.
You can let, like, what are you worried about? You worried about getting things dirty? You can pay somebody to clean it.
Yeah, I don't get that. It's the wrong priorities. So again, it's like I'm not going to take that away from somebody who needs it, but I'm also not going to condone the people who are using it for the wrong reasons. And there's a lot of that too.
Exactly. And I guess that's why that's the hard part for me. It's like, not that it's in every single place, but I mean, deep down, it's in every single place where if someone's doing good, there's probably somebody who's got nefarious, you know, plans. Just because someone is doing good, or just because they have good intentions.
Yeah, somebody's willing to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and that's the hard. I mean, I don't know. That always bothers me.
Yeah,
that's like politics to me. It's pretty much just politics.
It's like, but it's good that it shows that, like, I don't know, because there's that stereotype amongst Christians in their head for some reason that atheists are like evil. Well, obviously not all Christians too. It's generalizing, but it's like those ones who are very like dogmatic and focused on one thing that think that like atheism is, you know, like the spawn of Satan. It's just like the worst thing that you could do. When really, I think most of the atheists that I've met are also more focused on justice because they don't think that there's anything else that's going to intervene. It's kind of more up to us. I feel like that at least too. It's like, I think that's why my focus is more on humanity. It's the fact that, like, you know, we're just here. It's just us. Like, if we don't stop fishing for all those fish, don't allow them to respawn, we're going to get screwed, you know? We're not going to have any more fish.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not saying don't eat fish. I'm saying let's do it in a way that leaves us with something later. And don't chop all the trees down.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, have you heard of water buffalo? Exactly, you haven't.
Yeah, they're all gone.
Fucking assholes. What do we do?
I actually have eaten water buffalo though.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They have crazy. This place called Crazy Burger. That's like that alligator.
Aptly named.
Yeah, perfect.
Where at?
San Diego.
Oh, okay. I guess everything's good in San Diego. Shit.
There's some bad stuff there too.
You hungry though? I should have asked. I would have brought your food too.
No, I'm good right now.
Make sure my guest is. I just gotta make sure my guest is
taken care of. Nice. That's what we do. Yeah, let's get some hot wings. Is this first week these? These hot ones?
It's the hot ones? No, I'll die. I mean, we could do it, but.
What's the hottest food you've ever eaten?
Sheesh. That's actually a hard one because I haven't really eaten much hot
Really?
food. I've eaten just like jalapenos and.
Habanero? Habanero pepper?
I don't think so.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
We
I
gotta
think
get to
I
some
had
of that.
like a lick of one of those habanero chips.
Oh, yeah.
It was like those green ones.
Yeah.
My uncle loves hot stuff, or he just loves challenging himself with hot stuff. He's a fucking idiot. He did like that Four Horsemen burger in Texas.
I've never heard of that.
It has all these chilies and then the ghost pepper, all these shits, whatever. My grandma was like, "Yeah, he was just shitting himself after that." I was like, "I bet that's what he gets."
Yeah, I mean, I guess even if your tongue can take it, sometimes your stomach can't. Later on, you regret it.
We're not made. Even if we are made, like there are people who can't handle it. Those people have been eating that for years. They built up
That callus.
in there. Yeah, it's like it's just totally different. But what about yourself? Are you a spicy food person?
Yeah. To challenge myself, sure. It's not like I mean, yeah, I like a spicier stuff in general. Like, if I can have a milder spicy, I'll pick spicy. But, like, I think the hottest thing I've ever eaten was either, like, the California Reaper pepper or, like, ghost pepper. I've had that Last Dab sauce that they did on Hot One. One of my friends got it.
How hot was that?
It's not that hot. I mean,
really?
I don't know how much of that's like
Did
a
you
sense of
like-
smell.
Oh.
Yeah, I put a good amount. I also had. Oh, you know what the hottest thing I ever ate was? They have these ramen noodles with like a penguin on it, and it's like these Japanese ramen noodles, and you add this sauce to it, and it comes with it. But like, we did 4 bags, so we put 4 of the hot sauce with it. And man, it was just so hot.
Wait. What do the bowls look like?
It's a little bag, so it's like
Oh,
ramen
okay.
noodles, and then you make it yourself. But it's like a little packet, and inside comes with like this sauce. But man, yeah, that was by far the hottest thing I ever ate. I think just because it was like way too much.
I wonder what they put. You should check the ingredients.
I think it was
Ghost pepper.
yeah,
flakes.
all pepper. It was every pepper.
Just the all pepper blend.
Yeah,
Ooh, hell no.
but yeah, I like some spicy food. What's
Yeah,
your favorite
'cause
food?
I had that Indian food the other day. It wasn't like spicy, but it definitely had a little kick, and it was pretty good.
It's crazy to me that was your first time eating Indian food.
Yeah, and I've always passed by so many places, but I've had samosas because like when we'd have potlucks at school,
Yep.
high school, that's what some friends would bring with samosas. They're fucking bomb.
What about lumpia? Have you ever had lumpia? I forget what kind of food that is.
I have not had it, but I've heard it. Wait.
It's like an egg roll.
Okay, no.
Yeah, it's like an egg roll. I think it's Filipino. I might be wrong,
Oh.
but yeah,
That sounds familiar.
it's pretty
I
good.
think I heard it on a TV show though. Probably like one of those cooking, where they go around the world.
Bourdain.
Yeah.
One of those kind of guys.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. So,
That's crazy.
what is your favorite food?
Mine personally, I'm basic, man. I love pizza.
Pizza.
I could eat any kind of pizza, even pineapple. I mean, I'm not a big fan of pineapple, I'll eat it. But I'm not like everybody's like, oh, I need it.
There's a big divide on that. Actually, it feels like it's like pineapple on pizza, yes or no. I can take it or leave it too. I mean, if there's a pineapple pizza, I'll eat it. But sometimes I think I'd prefer just like pick them off, eat them separately, and then eat the pizza.
I guess I usually, if I'm not feeling them at all, I'll pick them off. But
You
if I don't
pick 'em
care, then I'll just eat the thing because it's usually with pepperoni, so it's like whatever.
I don't think I'm a picky eater in general. I think I can eat. The only thing that I don't like is mayonnaise. I think mayonnaise is the worst.
Really?
Yeah, gross.
It's just eggs.
I know, I like eggs, but I just don't like it. Something about it.
Like eggs and I don't know what else it is, but
It's like oil and shit.
have you seen Undercover Brother?
I love Undercover.
When he's like the mayonnaise, looking at it.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah,
That's funny.
It's really gross though. Yeah, I love that movie. It's a deep reference.
Hey man,
I feel like
we
nobody's
get
talking
deep
about
here.
it.
I love movies.
Oh yeah.
What's your like go-to genre?
Been trying to get into. Since I was a kid, my parents always liked westerns. I never really liked westerns. I've watched like everything. You know, I'm not picky. I watch anything. I've seen I have like over 1,500 movies or something like that downloaded. I've seen almost all of them. But I've been trying to get into westerns lately, just because I think, and Tarantino doesn't count because Tarantino's westerns are fun.
That's
They're ridiculous.
That's more of a, I don't know what you would call it.
But I just think I didn't have the patience as a kid for westerns and like the pacing, and I'm like, I don't fucking care. This is the desert, and there's no cars or whatever, And I think I watched The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly recently, and it's just incredible.
Gets you, yeah.
I'm starting to understand it, so I think that's where I'm headed towards lately.
That's funny.
But
that's funny you would say that. My dad, probably that's all he watched every day.
Really?
Was westerns.
Who's his hero? John Wayne?
I don't know.
Or not John Wayne? Because that's another divide that those older people have. They're either like John Wayne or my mom's Clint Eastwood. My parents are
I think
Clint
he's
Eastwood.
a Clint guy.
Clint guy?
Yeah.
That's good.
I think he's a Clint guy.
But
he watches all those too, so that's weird. That's so funny that I feel like that's so popular with the older. I guess that's all
yeah,
they
that
had.
last generation, they really love those westerns.
Yeah. So your parents like what, 55?
50, yeah, I think they're both 58.
Okay, yeah. My dad, yeah, he's around there. So
Same.
that's so funny.
That's
You can kind of not date, but you can date a generation just based off what was going on.
Yeah, preferences too. They think different. It's like that Gen X generation has a different mindset too.
I think about that, man. I see some of them with kids and stuff. I'm like, man, kids are kind of weird.
Yeah.
Kids crazy.
I don't know.
Those are basically, what are their Gen X's? All their kids are like, what, middle school?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because my sister's Gen X, or my oldest sister's Gen X, and she's got, my niece and nephew are both the oldest one's just starting high school, and the other one's in middle school. So
Okay, yeah. Because my little cousin just started high school.
Crazy kids.
Yeah. Just don't care. They don't care either.
Yeah, I don't think Gen X was supposed to have kids. I don't think they expected to have kids either.
You want children?
No.
At all?
I'd have to have a wife who really wants kids, and I'd have to have a girlfriend who really wants to get married to have a wife. So
you're saying okay. Hold on. Are you saying no as in like no, you don't want them? You're saying no as in right now I don't see it happening because the steps to get there are kind of long.
If it was my sole choice and just on me, I would not have kids.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to bring them here into this. I got enough going on. I wouldn't want to pass on this head onto the next one. I've got to keep this one in here. This is bad enough.
We're in sync, man.
Yeah,
I don't want any kids, dude. Yeah, none at all.
No.
I used to, dude. And you know what? You think about it and you're like, it's just because it's so egotistical. Or like, it's just so like, I don't know, like maybe it's just your fear of dying, you need to have something carried on.
Something to pass on, that legacy.
Yeah, but it's like, it's not passing on a legacy. It's passing on another human being. It's not a part of you. It's not you at all. It's just, I mean, it's your DNA, but it's like they're gonna be their own person.
Yeah.
And I think too many times, not all the times, obviously, but too many times, parents have the kids for the simple fact that they try to pass on their good traits and make them a better them. You know?
Yeah, they kind of get a chance to live again through that. They try to do what they didn't get for their kids, and try to prevent what happened to them for their kids. But again, I think that it's egotistical.
Don't get me wrong. There's a difference between like giving them a future. You know, like okay, I'll pay for your education, whatever you want to do. And then there's a difference between you're gonna go to school.
Sure.
Like
you're gonna be a lawyer.
You must do that.
Right.
Yeah.
That kind of.
You need to go into this degree, or you need to do this. Like you need to have at least this education.
Yeah, I guess I forget that that's a kind of parent that could be out there because my parents are so the opposite. My parents were just like,
really,
just kind of figure it out. My parents didn't really have a structure for me. My parents were always pretty upfront with me about a lot of that stuff. Like, I don't think I'm pretty sure I was not planned. Definitely an accident. But.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care. I'm here, and they don't care either. I don't think it was never one of those things. It's like, oh, I don't understand the kind of pain of that because I never felt like a resentment or anything. But again, I guess there are parents out there who don't plan to have kids, and then they do resent the child from that, which is horrible. But
yeah.
I just can't imagine anybody with that mindset. But it's the same thing. It's like I'm gonna have a son, and he's gonna be like me, and he's going to take over the firm. And it's like, wow, you got a lot of ambition for something that you really can't control. It's kind of crazy.
Something that they may not even want. Like, it takes nothing into account besides their own
desire.
And that's why it's hard. I think that's why it's hard for like older generations to accept when us and younger generations are like, no, we're gonna do it this way, our way, or we don't want to do this, or we don't give a fuck about this.
Yeah. Tradition goes out the window.
Yeah, they're like, wait a minute, you're not upset that I'm upset? No, yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why there's so many of those older people right now. You see the public freakouts, and they're just cracking.
Those are the best.
They are the best. They can't control themselves because they never expected like so much freedom.
Wait a minute, you guys get it too? God damn it.
Yeah, it's interesting. But no, I don't think I want kids.
Yeah.
Not if I had the choice.
Honestly, and I always think about like, there's so many kids already here. Not that I'm like gonna adopt right away, but if I ever had the means, and if I ever won the lotto, and I was older, I'm not gonna just win the lotto and adopt a kid. But like, if I win the lotto and then like, enjoy life, set myself up later on, and I feel like, hey, like I'm in a place where, and if I have somebody who's willing to adopt as well, I can't just,
Yes.
Whatever. It was more of a financial thing at this point, like if we had the means, I feel like everybody would take, in a perfect world, everybody would take at least one child from adoption.
I think that's, and that's noble, but I don't think a lot of people would agree with that.
No, of course not. No, of course not.
Most people want their own kids, which is bizarre to me. Yeah, in hindsight, if I did have a kid, I would also want to adopt it. I think that makes sense. Like, I don't really, again, maybe I'm selfish because I just don't want to deal with that, honestly, but it's hard enough to take care of myself right now. Maybe that's just because it's so far out of the way for me to even think about dealing with the next 10 years of my life, let alone if I had the next 10 years of my life with a kid trying to juggle that shit. It's just impossible, But I do think, more people should be adopting because there are definitely too many kids out there right now in general.
Yeah, dude, I exact same sentiment, feeling like it's just people want, their own thing. I don't know. Like, I mean, because I got family maybe they have children with people they shouldn't, and it's like, okay, it's happened. You have to, do your best to just, give the child a better life,
Yeah, make the most of the situation at that point.
Yeah, but it's like, man.
What about marriage?
I'm not opposed to marriage, but it's not a priority for me. I get the celebration. I get like celebrating. You know what? Let's bring all our friends and fucking just say what's up. I get this. I just like celebrations. So I like that part. But I mean, maybe I have commitment issues, so it doesn't really. I'll do it.
Preaching to the choir.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do it if I find somebody, but it's not like a priority. It's not like I'm going out like, I need to find a woman to marry.
No. Yeah, I kind of feel the exact same way. Minus the party part. I'm partied out.
I love weddings. I love anything that has to do with like birthday. If it's a dance, somewhere you dance, I'm there.
Yeah.
I love dancing.
That's fun. For you. That's
For
like
me.
the opposite of fun for me. I would hate to go. I mean, like, I've been a best man 4 times in my life, and I think I'm
Whoa.
about topped out.
Wow.
Tapped out, yeah. But
That's a lot. That's cool though.
I think it's yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to be like, oh fuck weddings. Obviously, the idea is good. You know what I mean? But it's just like, this is the selfish part of me. It's like, could be fucking watching TV that one night. You know what I mean? I could be watching a movie.
Okay,
reading a book,
I
or
guess.
whatever. But
I guess we're not-
but I can always do that. So yeah, I guess maybe I should take more of a focus on like, hey, this is a one-time celebration for these people. But
And sometimes it's not.
yeah, that's true.
My parents got married twice actually.
Yeah, both of them.
No, they got remarried.
Oh, the double marriage. Yeah, that's cool. Like renewing the vows type thing, or is
No.
it like
They were divorced for like 10
divorced,
years.
and they decided to get back together. That's interesting. It's complicated.
It was interesting, yeah.
Care to elaborate?
I mean, so the gist of it, I was planned for this hellish existence. Planned, came, maybe like 3 years in, Pops goes to prison. So then my mom was just like, no, I don't want to do that. So she divorced him and like just cut him off. So it was me and her, and then moved in like with my aunt around, I guess. Me and them too. And then after that, he was in there for like 4 years maybe, 3 or 4 years, on and off. And then what happened? He started to get like, I think he went to like rehab. Yeah. So let me see, I was 3, so 4, 7, 8. I don't know. He went to rehab probably like I was like 10 or 11. He was like in San Francisco. And he came back to Fresno or like Mendota. Probably when I was like 12. Because he finished the program, I guess. It wasn't a very good program. He's still an alcoholic, so. But yeah, they got remarried. So I guess, he came back.
Sounds
Fooled
like.
my mom.
Do you feel like he fooled her, or do you feel like he
I think-
honestly put effort in and maybe is like still struggles, or do you feel like
I
he's-
think there probably maybe was effort put, but if you see a child trying to weightlift, are you gonna tell him to go do some push-ups first, or are you just gonna let him lift up? Wait. So and you tell him multiple times, you're not ready, or you need help. You need more help.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, I was young back then, so back
Sure.
then I didn't know. But up till now, yeah, it's kind of like. At this point, I've told him many times.
It's funny when you see a situation like that with adult eyes, because as a kid, when you grow up and you see people older than you struggling, but you don't understand why, you're like, oh, I don't know what to do with this. And then as an adult, you're like, oh, this is like a completely different situation.
It's because you don't get the whole truth when you're younger. You get it. You could get it. You could probably see something right in front of your eyes, but you could not get what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
But either way, it's not the whole truth. It's definitely a different lens, and that's why I just got tired. I remember I told him one time, I was just like, dude, go get help, like all our conversations are not really even conversations at this point. So I'm just tired. We can help, and then we can have a real conversation, dude. It's that simple.
That's fair. I think we have this expression in our family that is everybody's responsible for their own mental health, and like as far as it goes for your own person, you don't have to be around people you don't want to be around if it's taking more out of you. And as far as, you know, people with problems, it's like it's up to them to get help, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like, I mean, I have problems. I have, you know, a lot of stuff that I've gone through and I go through, and you have to stay on top of that for yourself. Like, I'm not trying to drag other people into my own shit show because I've got problems. I'm also not like, you know, it's not the worst problems on earth ever, though, either. You know, everybody's got problems, and there's nothing wrong with admitting that or going through the motions of trying to take steps to fix it. But you do have to understand when there's something going off for yourself. You can't just, like, walk around oblivious. You know, I think sometimes people want to walk around oblivious. And, you know, even when somebody's telling them, like, yeah, you've got stuff you got to work on.
Yeah, even then, it's like at some point, it's willing oblivion. You know, it's just like they see the door, they see the light, you know, around the door frame, and they think that it's coming to get them or something. They run away. You know, it's like that's the way you need to go. But they know the path. It's just, I get it. I mean, he did have a rough childhood. But that's the thing. It's the cycle. I'm not saying I had a super hard childhood. I've seen a few things. Maybe they weren't like horrible, but like they did
affect you.
They're in my memory.
Sure.
You know. And I'm not saying I would pass anything down to my children, but why even? I don't even know yet. Like, why even take that chance of passing down something? I don't know. It's just I'm not like you said. It's not anything I desire right now.
Yeah, I think our generation's a little bit more cautious of that too, because we do live in a time where we could see a lot of that stuff. Like, yeah, you know, a lot of people I know in this generation don't want kids, and I think we just see that it's tricky. It's hard enough for us right now. There's definitely too many people on Earth. It's like, you know, let's take care of some of the clutter first. So,
mm-hmm.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. They're just you seen those coin machines where it's just going back and forth?
Oh yeah.
All they're doing is trying to put in quarters and take out the ones they think are pennies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to push those out little by little. It's like, nah, they're all value. They're all the same value.
Yeah.
Because we all, you know, you just, and that's a perfect metaphor. We're all they're all technically the same value. It's just we're giving them different perceived value.
Yeah. I mean, a coin's a coin.
Exactly.
Whatever number you put on that, a person's a person. Yeah. Whatever they have in them is in them or not. I mean, I don't think, and not to like say fuck everybody who's having kids or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with that either. But it's personal preference. I think it would be foolish.
I was gonna say, but check why you're doing it.
Yeah.
If you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, fuck you, don't do that shit.
Yeah, you're setting yourself up to fail.
Not even that, you're fucking someone else up.
You're fucking the kid out. Yeah. Oh yeah, you see that a lot too. But
I don't give a shit about you if you're doing it. I care about the kid.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, yeah. I mean, it's sad because there's a lot of kids, and that's why adoption is probably the best way to go for that. Like, if you can, but I don't think. I just don't want a kid in general.
No, yeah. That's why I said if it ever got the means.
Sure.
And even then, I would definitely adopt probably someone older who I could, you know, can go on vacation. I don't have to worry about fucking taking a diaper bag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, we're gonna go on vacation. Pack your shit, let's go.
It's Batman and Robin type thing.
Hell yeah.
That'd be cool.
And like I said, like it'd probably only be if I had someone who was comfortable with an adoption as well. Which I don't think I would be with someone if they weren't comfortable with that, because I feel like that's an understanding, like this person is without and we have an abundance.
Yeah.
I think people forget that.
You're not going to find somebody who is so far opposite in that aspect that you would even get to that point.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I remember one time I was messing with this chick, and I messed with her previously, whatever. And I lived in San Jose, but I would come visit Fresno here and there. So one of the times when I was visiting Fresno, hit up this chick. I'm like, hey, what's up? Let's go hang out. So we go out to eat sushi, and we were just talking, I guess, just in general, like catching up. Like I'm pretty nice to people. I'm a fucking friend. I'm a person.
Okay.
I treat them like people. Hello, they're people. Anyway,
conversation.
Yeah, it's not that hard, guys. And it comes out who she voted for.
Bum, 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 bum.
And I was like, oh shit, really?
Yeah.
I just didn't think. But I mean, it's because she's a libertarian. So I was like, I get it. I get where you're coming from because I get how you are brainwashed. But,
yeah.
but
I understand how you're selfish.
Yes.
Good.
But, that ain't right. I mean, okay, that was the last night. Okay, that was the last time we messed around. I had to have one last time.
But in the back of your head, you're like, this one's for Biden.
It was a little more aggressive, yes. It was still safe and consensual.
Did you vote?
Yeah.
Did vote.
I did.
I did not. I couldn't.
I mean, honestly, in California, we're going to be blue.
Sure.
It's more the local ones that matter, like, for us, I guess, for
the House.
For ones that are not swing states or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, what, Texas? Texas is going to be... Actually, I don't know. Texas is kind of swinging.
Texas is going to be different now. A lot of people have
Moving over
gone
there.
from California to there.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
But I don't know how that works. We'll see next election time, I guess. But yeah, I couldn't bring myself to vote. I was raised religious, a cult religious.
Really? Oh, wow.
Jehovah's Witness. I believe it's a cult.
Yeah. Well, kind of is.
Yeah, I think so. Took a lot of time to get away from that, but you know, when you're raised in it, you just don't understand. And my whole family was raised in it. So like, my mom was raised in it. And my dad was raised in it and around it, but so it was hard to kind of break that mold of getting away from a mindset that's like ingrained in them. So, but my parents were always like the ones that were on the edge, like, you know, we weren't supposed to, there's a lot of rules of things that you're not supposed to do, or people won't talk to you, or you're going to get disfellowship, which is like excommunicated, and all that kind of like cast out type stuff. But my parents were always on the edge, like, you know, no Disney movies because of magic. We watched all kinds of that. No rated R movies. We watched whatever. My parents were very pro art. Like, if it was an artistic message, they were always more about, like, well, what's the point mean to you? Like Harry Potter was one that we didn't watch until I was, like, an older kid because, you know, it's based around magic. And, like, but all that shit means nothing in hindsight. And even... I
know, it's like, go watch them on set and tell me that it's magic.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But there's all kinds of stuff like that you're not supposed to technically do. But so voting is one of those things. It's like,
really,
they don't want you to, and that's why I think it's a cult, is because it really there's a scripture that says take no part in the world, but it's like, that's impossible. First of all,
yeah,
you're already there.
You might as well live in the forest or something.
And they just want you to be cut off, like, as much as possible from, like, you're not supposed to hang out with, like, a worldly association, which is basically anybody who's not a Jehovah's Witness. But my parents didn't believe that either, so, like, I always had friends growing up who were, you know, like Sean, or our other friend Steven, or Mario, you know Mario.
Did their parents, were they really into it, or no?
My mom's parents were, so she was, but they were also like heroin addicts, so it's really hard to tell. And
anything to make yourself feel better sometimes.
Yeah, and I think that's why my mom and dad held on to it so much, because my grandparents on both of their sides were like wild. Like there was no sense of stability. I know my mom grew up like moving around a lot because of her parents being drug addicts and all that kind of stuff. So I think she wanted to give our family a sense of like stability. And to be fair, like almost everybody on my mom's side of the family is in jail, or like my uncle's like got Fresno tattooed on his head. He's a bulldog guy and all that kind of stuff. He's been in and out of the pen so much. But I don't think he'd even recognize me because I haven't seen him since I was like so young. Even though he lives in the same town now. But so I think that's why they wanted to. Yeah, I think he is currently.
Oh, wow.
He's got Siberian Husky, last I heard.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
Cool.
But
hey, as long as he's rehabilitated.
Yeah, for how long, I don't know. I don't know that much about them. I just know that my mom and dad tried to pave like a stable road for us because it was so fluctuating for them. My dad also had like a lot of trauma in his childhood and stuff like that, and I think they did a good job with us overall.
Yeah, no, I would say you're definitely one of the more sane people that I've talked to.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Or you're very good at, presenting.
Just
like
lying.
that.
Yeah. Lying enough to get by.
So I was gonna say, did they? So you said they didn't really listen to like the rules. Fuck, I had a question on the tip of my tongue. I lost it.
That was a lot of stuff. Yeah. There's a lot to go for.
I mean, like, it's just crazy. Like, how'd you get out anyway? Like, what was the first thing that made you switch? Maybe have that little. Down.
Well, when I was a kid, like really young, my parents went more often, and they try to stay consistent in going, because you're supposed to go pretty often, like 3 times a week or whatever, which is impossible with a full-time schedule and stuff like that. Like
3 times a week.
As an adult, I couldn't imagine working a full-time job and trying to do that. And there's so many of them who still try to do that, and they're just drained all the time.
Don't they give tithe too?
What's that?
Do they give tithe?
What's tithe?
Oh, okay, never mind. That's, I think.
Well, it might be similar, but I don't know.
Oh,
is that
you give like 10% of your income?
Oh yeah, I mean I don't know how much they say, offer what you can, but it's pretty regular, and that was one of the things too, that as an adult, when I started getting older, I was like, I'm not doing this. And I don't know how you guys are doing this. It doesn't
10%?
It's ridiculous.
I need that for food.
That's crazy. That's a lot. 10%. I didn't know. Do you know who does that?
So, I know, like, it's not like law, but it's suggested, like in Christianity, maybe Catholicism, you give 10% of your, like, monthly income.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah, or whatever your cycle is. So let's say you get paid every week, 2 weeks, 10% of it. Wow. It's like,
yeah, that's nuts, man. I don't think that's okay. But it is.
That's why they're so rich.
It is suggested that you give a good amount, and I know that my parents probably did give a good amount for a long time. Definitely wasn't 10%. I think my parents, again, were always like, hey, we got to make this work for us. Yeah. My parents were pretty reasonable with a lot of that stuff. There's some stuff they weren't, but I think overall they try to get it.
I mean, it's good that they didn't, like, I feel like they pretty much, like, gave you the diet version of the religion, They didn't give it to you straight, like, all full-fledged. Which is good.
I think the thing that they encouraged the most was reading. So I read a lot of the Bible, and I know a lot of the Bible, and I kind of began to see, so this is what kind of helped me get out, was the fact that I understood the Bible, and overall I could see when the religion I was a part of was being hypocritical in a lot of places, and I was like, I don't think I have to fucking listen to these guys anymore. Like, they're doing stuff, they're doing all kinds of shady shit that doesn't make sense. Like,
you took the blinders off.
Yeah, and it was like their own rule book that helped me figure it out. It's like, I don't know, it just became something that I was like, well, why am I even doing this? And, they don't want you to look into other religions. You're not supposed to like. They're anti-evolution, but that's so much biology that they want you to. It's also like no secular schooling. You know, I wasn't supposed to go to college, or like my parents didn't really have college in mind for me or my two older sisters. So it was something that, like, even within our more recent years, because my whole family left within the last 6 years. None of us go. None of us believe in that anymore.
Wow. It's good.
It is good. It's been tricky. Everybody had their own story, especially, you know, as adults. Everybody's story and reasons for leaving were kind of different. I think for my parents, the biggest one was like the pedophilia that was going on there. In Australia, there was this big case that came out about them not giving legal documents over to the government. They were holding some stuff back that they claimed was protected for some of the higher up members there, and we were all just like, that's not okay. And
Whoa.
for that
like they traveled, like it was their trip to Australia, or they like lived in Australia?
The people in Australia. So Jehovah's Witnesses are like worldwide,
Right.
and their branch over there, the Australian government was like, hey, we need those documents because there's legal stuff being hindered from, and then the Jehovah's Witnesses of Australia were like, no, we have a right to those. They went through this big court battle about how they didn't want to give it up, and it's like, you're protecting and harboring pedophiles. That was like the final straw for my parents, I think. Where
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah,
that was the final straw.
I mean, it's not like. It's because I don't think if it was for the internet that my parents could have even understood that something like that was happening, you know, because really, honestly, when I lived here for 18 years, the congregation that I went to here, they were all normal people. Like, they were nice, small people. Like, there wasn't a lot of, I didn't know any bigots or any racists. Like, there was people of all, I mean, some of my best friends were of all colors, you know? I mean, it was really diverse, and I think that's because Fresno is really mixed in general, but I never really had any problems with anything like that. So it's not like, so to read something in the Bible about how God hates faggots, God hates faggots, you know? I mean, that's in there, and I don't agree with that, and I just couldn't understand how...
It's in your version?
I mean, it's basically the King James version. It's not. It doesn't say that verbatim.
That's what I was going to say. Cause it's literally not. There is no word. I always see this all the time. Like, they didn't say gay. They said pedophiles.
Yeah. Homosexuals. Homosexuality is against God according to the scriptures. The earlier, I think it's in Hebrews or something like that. But
we're gonna look at the translation, because I swear I saw somewhere like the translation is fucked up.
Oh yeah, and it depends on which book you're reading too. I mean, it's all over the place. But overall, I think like the message of some of the first half of the Bible are really unloving. I mean, there's some. I think that
Smite.
yeah, I mean, and you're allowed to kill the firstborn babies just because that sect of people don't believe in God. You're salt, you know. You looked back, pillar of salt.
Oh shit!
There's so much stuff that's just like, that's horrible. I don't believe that could be loving if that's what God's supposed to be. So it just kind of started to boil down to, well, people probably wrote this book, and like, if people wrote the book, then it's not necessarily fact. Like, they hold it to be fact. And yeah, you just start pulling at those threads that they don't want you to pull at in terms of thought, like just free thinking in general. I think my family's full of free thinkers, but good-hearted people.
They sound like it, yeah.
And I think that, you know, eventually that good heart is what overcame it. Because it's just like, well, yeah, people are still being screwed over by these rules, and I don't think that I have to be a part of it. I don't see, it's like, you know, it's like the cops that took a knee during the Black Lives Matter protests. Like, they lost their jobs and everything like that, but that's because they believed in the cause more so than being on the police force. And it's like, if there's that much corruption in it, do you really want to side with those kind of people? We didn't want to side with that anymore. I think everybody came to the conclusion that it just really wasn't loving. It was mentally restrictive and a cult at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, when they tell you not to do something, to me that's
Yeah.
Not to say like, hey, I mean, I know one of the rules is don't kill, but one of the other ones is don't have sex. Like, come on, relax.
Yeah. Where's the?
We were almost there, but you messed it up. Damn it.
It's too strenuous. It's impossible. Like,
it is.
How can you even be human at that point? You know,
I think it's just meant to
yourself.
keep you but meant to keep you unworthy. Just like, I mean, most systems in place right now are meant to just keep you not at the top.
Yeah.
Because that's what I feel like that's what we have prioritized. You need to get yourself in the top. Once you get yourself in your top position, whatever it is, you invented something, you're the president, you're top athlete, whatever it is you got there, everybody under you is under you now. And, you know, that's like, I don't know how to explain.
It's a dog-eat-dog world.
Yeah, it's not. It's just that people have, you know, it is, but not like
it doesn't have to be
human.
No, yeah.
We need to eat cows. That's it. Relax, guys.
Yeah, I don't.
Not a lot too. Just here.
I don't understand that me first mentality. There's plenty to go around for everybody, and yet for some reason it seems like the overall consensus is like me first. I guess that's because there's so much people. It feels like there's a lot of struggling going on, but I think that's the illusion that needs to break, is the fact that there's so many people at the top with so much more that should be held accountable.
Some 100 billion. I mean, you have almost $200 billion. First of all, I'd shit myself. Like that. Yeah. Second of all, there's no, like, what? How do you have that much money and not think about helping save a planet, the one planet we have?
I don't know, man.
And I know they're doing it little, you know, they're going to donate their money through Amazon, through their charitable foundations, but it's all just tax breaks, and it doesn't change bank accounts. It just transfers from their check into their charitable foundation, whatever, you know, like.
Yeah, well, it's not like enough to put them out, and that's really what it would take.
And even then, I don't even think it'd be to put them out. I feel like it would just be enough to where it's like, guess what? You're not going to be able to be the richest guy in the world.
Yeah, and that is putting them out. Like, that's the worst thing that I could think of. Is,
I guess so.
But yeah, no, you're right. I mean, like, even if they were to take some of the money and use it towards something better, they'd still function. Does anybody really need more than $1 million?
They would do way more than function. They would be just fine.
Yeah.
They're still gonna jack off in their $10,000 toilet or whatever they have. I don't know.
A toilet's a toilet.
Or hooker.
What's
I don't
the
know.
point?
Whatever they pay for.
Epstein.
To jack off on.
Epstein's Island.
I'm sure someone did. Are you a believer that these Hollywood elites are
Illuminati.
some form of Illuminati?
No, I don't really believe in like aliens, reptilians.
No aliens at all?
I think like there could be alien life in terms of plants.
Oh, okay.
Like plant life aliens, but I don't think there's anything like sentient out there.
Really?
Well, if there is, it's got to be farther away from us than what is within the planets that we can see around us. I don't think that there's no sentience anywhere. I think that it's more like plant life where we don't know where it's at, and maybe there's stuff like farther out there. But I think at that point I lean more towards the multi-universe theory.
Really?
I think that there's just so many. Think about all the choices you make in a day and how many different ways it could go. It's like infinite possibilities. You know, how many atoms are between us and the TV right there? I mean, there's just so much infinite possibility in every action that I think we're just like bubbles.
So then do you believe we're in a simulation?
If we are, I don't think it's worth it not to keep living your life in a normal way. But I don't know that we aren't. I mean, it's
the
possible.
game is worth playing, folks.
Yeah, Yeah, I think if you are in a simulation, it doesn't make a difference not to keep going forward with your life because it is your own life at that point. But I don't know if we are in a simulation, it almost doesn't make a difference because we wouldn't be able to prove it. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know about that one. It's possible.
There was like somewhere it was online. I think it was a YouTube video of Neil deGrasse Tyson saying that he believes in it just because of the mathematics. Because
probability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The infinite probability of simulations that we can make. But there's only one reality.
So what do you think?
I really don't know, man. I think I'm the same way. It's like maybe the multiverse theory I could see, you know, but it's like at some point, regardless of whatever it is, I'm not gonna be able to prove one way or the other until after my death. So I'm just gonna live.
Sure.
And so I guess it's always in the back of my mind, but then it's just like, gotta keep living. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's how it is with conspiracies too, though. So, like, in terms, okay, so yeah, like, let's go back to the question of if the Hollywood people, the elites, like,
oh yeah,
I mean,
Illuminati.
I don't think so. Only because, like, I think there's this tendency in people to think like the government too. The government's like this superpower, and it's like, you could join the government if you really wanted to. Like, you could be a part of that, and I think you'd realize that there's just a bunch of fucking other idiots, you know? Like, they just do it. It's like the police force, the government, fucking Navy, military. Those are all just made of people who they have a specific job that they do, and maybe it's a certain mindset who goes to those type of jobs or who wants to be in that. Like, I don't want to do any of those for my life, but there are people who want to do that, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just like, that's the kind of people who go towards that field. So I think, you know, when you read these comments online about people who are like, the government's watching you and they're doing this, and it's like, maybe they have...
As they're typing on their Mac.
Yeah, it's like, maybe they have surveillance to a degree, but I don't think it's enough to, like, they're just people. I really don't see anything other than just people. Like, to think that there's reptilians or some kind of magic Illuminati group. Like, I've seen, you know, Justin Timberlake thanks God for all he's done, and I think that's just the only way he can make sense of his incredible luck in life is to thank somebody above. But I don't think he's like a superpowered anything. You know, I don't think Jay-Z's a reptilian Illuminati member either. I think he's just somebody who he made it work.
He has really good poetry. I don't know if you've heard any of his old stuff, really.
The Blueprint is the one I'm more familiar with.
Yeah.
Is that the first or second one?
There's 3 of them.
Oh, the first one.
Okay.
The earlier stuff.
He's pretty good. And all of his verses, one take.
One take Jake.
So he never took more than one take on every song.
He said, drop those charges like Rocky.
It's crazy,
yeah. Yeah, so I think he's just a person. I think they're all just people.
Yeah, no, me too. Honestly, I think people just really want to see something, you know? I don't know what they just...
I would like to.
They want to...
I'd like to see some aliens or something weird. Like, I think humans would really unite if there was like, oh shit, there's another race of aliens.
Independence Day.
Exactly, Independence Day. Welcome to Earth.
Motherfucker. I would probably definitely shit my pants and I would just stay home and smoke and chill and eat food and play video games. That would be. I mean, what could you do? Alien invasion?
That'd be like science. Yeah.
What the fuck am I supposed to do?
What can you do? You'd have to. I mean,
be friends. I'm gonna invite them down.
We'd all have to rethink stuff for sure.
Telepathically.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yo, you want to play games?
It's all good. But
you want a beer?
But I don't see nothing like that.
No, I don't know. Yeah, nothing in the near future. Especially because I remember someone saying like. Our chances of getting to other planets is like we have a small cluster of planets that we can get to not realistically, but like whatever, it's a certain light years away because it's expanding.
Yeah,
it's expanding
further
faster.
And further.
Yeah. So as we're not gonna make a spaceship for another who knows that can go that fast. You know what I mean? So the ones that are even close to us right now are already getting away. So it's kind of like we probably will never see those.
Yeah. And
I wonder if we ever seen an inferior life force not in our time, but you know what I mean? Like, what if someone evolves close to us?
I don't know. That's interesting that you say that because, like, or what about the animals here? Like, if the nut, or like Chernobyl, radioactivity. Who knows? They have radioactive like animals over there. Anything could pop off at any time, and we really don't know. Few people predicted this virus, but nobody really thought a big fat fucking virus could come, and yet here we are, and we always just kind of have to roll with the punches because there's not a whole lot you can do about it other than think about it. But
us, because
sure.
I think about like, just I don't know how long it wasn't that long ago. Like fucking one of the pipelines spilled oil, another pipeline spilled oil. It's like, dude, at some point, like, when are we gonna realize like oil? We don't need oil. Like I get it, we need it right now because too many people rely on gas, But like, it's just the only reason we haven't switched yet to it's ideally we need to switch to wind and solar. But the only reason we have it is because the people who are getting paid for their gas and coal,
those guys make so much money, man.
They're in office, or they're getting lobbied in office.
Yeah, it's a broken system for sure, and it's broken in keeping them at the top. And it's like there shouldn't be a top. There should be no peak. Those guys with enough money, it should just spread out over time, but it doesn't. And I think people are catching on to that, though. I think, like, if people would stop caring about, like, the small stuff and focus more on that big problem of the class divide is clearly the biggest problem. The fact that there's so much money for some people and so little for some other people is ridiculous that anybody allows that to happen and keep happening. But in the meantime, let's all keep watching fucking TikTok videos about pronouns or fucking videos about race wars, and it's like, I don't care what you call yourself or what color your skin is. Let's all be mad at the fact that those guys have way too much money. That's the real problem.
Well, see, and that's the thing is that that's always been prevalent. Is like.
You want some more?
No, I still got one. It's always been prevalent, like discrimination against, different people, either race or identity, sexual identity.
Sure.
And so when something like that has been almost a part of just regular life, like it was normal to despise that. Back in the day.
Yeah, normalize the fact that...
Normalized hate.
Mm-hmm.
And when normalized hate, we're slowly realizing, like, that's not normal. But we had systems in place that, still believe that. Yeah. And there still are. Or not that they still believe it, but they're still rooted in that. So it's like, you can't. Yeah, definitely, it's a fucked up system.
It's a thread to pull, though. You gotta start somewhere, and I think it's
a long pull, man.
Yeah, it can happen though, and I think it's happening. I think there's been so much change in these last 5 years alone. I think the internet is just really good at keeping everybody in check. It's nice you can call out injustices. You see those Russian dash cams are great. You always see somebody gets cut off and. Boom, gets hit by a truck, or...
You ever see the ones where they fake it?
I
saw one where this guy, I think it was in England, this lady had a dash cam and this guy, went forward.
Oh, yeah, they, tuck and roll onto the hood.
And they, he just, fucking threw the bike down and he, just jumped on their fucking hood. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. And then she was like, I have a camera! And then he was like, oh, shit.
Took off.
And then the witness, the homie, that was his witness... got on the bike too, because it was him and the witness. You know what I'm saying?
Pulling it.
Oh, I saw everything.
Pulling
you hit
him. Scheme, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
That's wrong, man. Yeah, it's a good thing for those cameras. I think it is cool. It's weird. It's weird to be in a time where everything's being filmed, but it's also good because you get to call people out for the problems.
See, and I think people who are against or despise being watched all the time or whatever, it's just one, you're not being watched all the time. Two, what do you have to hide? What's if there's something that's insecure within you that you're not, that's just something within you. It's an insecurity they don't want getting out.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I don't know what this specific insecurity is. Everybody has them,
Sure.
And but some people are open with talking. I'll talk about my insecurities because it's not going to change them. You know, it's just something I work on.
Sure. Yeah.
But some people think that, oh, if I just hold it deep down or if I don't talk about it, it's either not there or it's not, you know, no need to be addressed. No one knows. But it's like, it doesn't change.
I don't know what that kind of mindset's like.
Oh, I've seen it too many times. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just don't understand how you can be like, to shut off. Like, so
from yourself.
It is just insecure, yeah. It's just like
your...
you don't even want to talk about something that's bothering you, and it's like, hey, you have a problem with something it's okay to be wrong. I think that's it at the end of the day. Sometimes it's okay to be wrong. I've been wrong a lot, and I think I'm going to be wrong more. But you have to be okay with making a mistake and getting called out for a mistake. Obviously, it doesn't have to be like, cancel culture stuff is a little bit extreme in some cases. It's good to keep people in check, but you don't have to cut people off either. I don't agree with that aspect either, because I've seen that too much in my life, where it's like, we don't have to not talk because we disagree. We can disagree on something, try to get to a conclusion, and then move on with our lives, but it doesn't have to be all or nothing. And I think that's too much black and white thinking coming into play.
Yeah, because then you know what? People just decide I need to be on this side or the other, when really they're right on the fucking line, or they're in that. It's the gray area. We're all in the gray area. We just got tricked into thinking we need to side with someone.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we don't need a side. We need to figure out how to make it better for everyone. That's not siding with anybody. That's just thinking about everybody.
It's indecision at some point too, because if you make a choice to just pick what is comfortable, you're not deciding to move forward.
You're just deciding what to stand with, and it's not necessarily, good, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I can't stand. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love talking about politics, and I love I'll debate about them, because I got friends. I agree. Maybe not with everything. There's times you should cut people off.
Oh yeah.
But I have a few friends who they did vote for Trump. They probably will vote for Trump. I'm not gonna lie. Do I know that they are heavily influenced in the wrong way? Somehow, yes. I don't know how. Their parents or their environment. Because one of them lives in North Carolina, so he just moved out there 2 years. So, but they're but it's I know deep down, I've talked to them and we've hung out. I know they're not, bigoted. They're not these people who are the extreme spectrum that I've seen on those. So I know that there is hope for them. And then I do have seen some where I'm I know that there is no hope for you.
Sure.
I don't have any desire to talk to you at all.
Yeah.
But the ones that I do keep close, I won't cut them off, because I'm okay, I see that this is a phase. Once this really passes, you're gonna forget all about it.
I guess that's what I'm saying is I don't think Carlos Mencia is funny, and I'm glad that he's no longer a comedian, but people still give him shows. He still finds work somewhere, and I think that's life. It's if there's somebody who shot somebody, and then 20 years have passed and they really regret it and it's ruined their life. I'm not going to say they don't deserve a second chance, but I'm not going to be their best fucking friend either,
Yeah.
And we don't all have to be friends. That's not the point either. I think it's just you don't have to completely say that this guy doesn't deserve to continue on anymore, which is, I think, the point of the cancel culture sometimes, where it's just don't give them a platform to speak. Don't give them, you're not teaching them anything. You're just cutting them off. I think, the goal of it should be to try to get them to see things in a better light, not necessarily just go away,
I get that. But, I mean, again, there's going to be some people, obviously, who just, you can walk them around the point, to the point, through the point. You can walk the point right through them, and sometimes they just won't get it.
Sure, and not everybody wants to be a teacher. Not everybody has to be a teacher either.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nobody's job to make the world a better place or be
But it is. It's our job.
It's our job. I put it on myself to be like that.
I tried.
Yeah.
You know what? And it's because I think it was definitely that shrimp trip. It was like, you know, if you want something done, you got to first do it yourself. Like I guess it opened my eyes of how hypocritical I was, because I wanted all these things, which are great. I still want these things, but I wasn't doing them, or I wasn't like sharing these ideas or figuring out how. I wasn't being active, you know. And it's just, you gotta.
It starts within.
You got it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then it comes out, and I think that's true. It's like, it goes back to what you're saying about people who don't want to be on camera or stuff like that, or who are too insecure to share. It's like, you have to be comfortable with your thoughts enough to express them if you want them to turn into anything. And how is it going to become anything or maybe what you think is wrong, but if you don't express it, how are you ever going to know that that's not what you wanted for yourself or for others? And I think I'm glad you wanted to film this and talk about it, because I feel like there's not a lot of, I mean, you know, you go talk to people at bars, or you go talk to people in clubs, and it's surface talk, or you get to know them here and there, make jokes, even getting to know people's favorite movies and films. It's good to get to know them and stuff like that, but you don't really get to know the kind of person they are. But like, this has given us a chance to talk and get to know each other, and it seems like we're pretty eye to eye on a lot of stuff, and it doesn't feel like forced. You know, it feels like a natural expression of ideals.
I guess that's what the goal of this was, is to show, and you get down to it, we're not different. We all want the same fucking thing. We just, you know, are all definitely not agreeing on how we're getting there, you know? It's just, we are, obviously. Like,
sure.
We know, we have definitely an understanding of, and it's shared, you know?
You put this on YouTube, and there's going to be 5 Republicans going, those damn...
America the best, 669.
Those damn libtards. Yeah.
Don't do nothing but talk and shit.
Yeah.
Go get in the real war.
Cut your hair, you hippies.
God damn it. I just grew this too, guys. Don't be mad, because you can. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, man, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm tired of Republicans. I'm tired of Democrats. They're all playing the game. I mean, I'm a registered Democrat, or maybe I'm independent. I don't remember what I'm registered as. I know I voted, but it's like we all have. Right now, we don't all have one goal. I am definitely more Democrat, because at least they want everybody to share in, you know, the spoils. Maybe not at the same time, maybe not at the same level, because that's where the class difference is.
Sure.
There still is definitely that on both sides, you know. But I just feel like Republicans sometimes just don't. Yeah, they just have no care for America first. It's like, where did America come from, guy?
Yeah, what is America if not people, though? I don't understand.
If not people from everywhere else.
Right.
Is that, I mean, besides the, you know, Native Americans that they all killed. But other than that, it's like, America is just people from everywhere else now.
Yeah, it's a melting pot. Oh, that was the whole, I mean, it's funny how that older idea of the American dream is kind of dead, because there is no American dream at this point. I almost feel like the American dream at this point, at least for me, is to get out. Like, I don't even really want to be here half the time. And it's sad that it's come to that, but it's like the rest of the world thinks Americans are fucking idiots, and there's plenty of proof to support that, even though I know that there's still good people here and there's smart people here. And
I'm scared to travel.
Yeah?
People are gonna know I'm American, and they're gonna be like,
oh yeah,
this guy.
You get by. They'll be like,
we'll see.
They won't know your place.
I'll try to put an accent.
I'm from France.
Parlez-vous français?
Yes. Merci.
Ah, merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Ah, but you don't know any more French.
That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah,
Moulin Rouge.
Shit, I didn't even know that was French.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Voulez-vous coucher avec soi?
C'est soi.
C'est soi?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
It's the one.
Yeah, nah, man. I don't know. It's just, yeah. I know politics is going to happen for the rest of our lives.
Which is the only reason I even tried to talk about it, because I don't know jack shit about politics.
I know Bro, I only know what I see on news, on TikTok, on Twitter, on whatever.
Yeah. I'm a fan of BBC News. That's about it lately.
That
I
one's
feel
is
like it's so,
definitely the more
it's like
independent.
well spoken. I just appreciate the fact that they don't mix up their words and nobody's yelling at me. It's like, here's a story and then it ends. You know, Fox News is crazy. I don't know.
Never watched Fox News.
ABC News is kind of too. Those guys are weird and fake.
On the other spectrum.
I don't even know. Yeah. I don't know who runs each. I know that I just get weird feelings from the news anchors depending on it. But I know BBC News is like, it's just like a story.
More into
flat.
Yeah. The other ones definitely have like their like ad-libbed, you know, just put in your keywords.
Yeah.
Here and here, you know.
Have you ever seen the movie Nightcrawler?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that where they're like, and then really play up the violence and like, you know, it's just, you can tell that they're doing that kind of orchestration.
Okay, slow down.
To push up the story,
Yeah.
play it up. And it feels really, you could just, I don't know, maybe.
It's because views get.
Maybe we're just keen to it, but I can feel it through that.
I think it's because, well, us. I think our generation. That's why we don't watch the news. That's why we don't. Our generation doesn't really watch that shit.
No.
And younger, because like we're like, this is. They've all been, or we all believe like, oh, this is just what they want to show us. Which it is just what they want to show us. It's what they think is going to get views. You know? It's not that they just want to show you. I mean, maybe sometimes, but for the most part, it's like, oh, what's going to get us views? So we can get commercials so that we can get paid, and it's like, I feel like that's pretty much what everything is.
It's kind of funny how like television itself is dying and everything's transitioning over to the internet because it's just more real. Like, you know, it's really funny when you see those news anchors start saying stuff like cringe or on fleek, and it's like, shut up, you guys are. You're
dying.
It's so evident that they're just trying to get views, like you're saying. They're just trying to get that viewership from anybody because nobody's watching it anymore. Like
it's because they're not giving real things. Because our generation younger, they're like, the world's fucking dying. What can I do? They literally don't know what to do. They can't do anything because they're too young.
No money.
Yeah, and they're not going to get any more money because guess what? I don't got no money. People slightly older than me don't have any money. They're at very much risk to have less money than me. So it's that's why it's like, why do we want to hear about? I mean, don't get me wrong, a car accident. I'm sorry that happened, but it's like,
no doubt,
it's not going to affect. You know, they're not going to affect. I don't know. They do think bigger. Yeah. And they don't think at all, I feel like, at the same time.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's like, yeah, it's a different generation behind us. I feel like it's weird how the millennials are kind of like the middle child. They're kind of stuck in between the two generations and, you know, to kind of just wait and see what happens. I think it's a good position to be in right now because I feel like Gen X people, like the older people who have, like any of my old bosses and employees, coworkers, they've liked me, but I think the kids too, like the ones younger than me, you know, it's like we fit in a really unique time where we're seeing too much.
We're the multi-tool. I feel like we can fit in anywhere. We're able to like go up and talk to the older ones, and then go down and talk to the young ones.
Yeah, because the younger ones can't really talk to the older ones, and the older ones can't really talk to the young ones. There's a big disconnect between the two for some reason. We're like the bridge between it. It's interesting. It's a lot of pressure to be to have no money.
How are we supposed to be broke and save the world? How that don't work out?
That's why everybody's doing hashtag van life. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever
which
seen
is cool. That. I mean, but I don't know if I could do that.
Nope.
I've thought about it, but I don't know. I really don't know. I could adapt. I could probably live in a van and be fine. But would I want to? For like, I don't know how long. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely like an unending thing. Like,
exactly.
When does it end?
Exactly.
when do you go? All right, I want to stay here now. Where do you want to stay? I mean, I guess that's the cool thing about it is that you can kind of explore and find where you want to be. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could do that van life thing either. But a lot of people do. I think it's on the come up because it's cheaper than renting. You know, you just buy something, you own it, and then you make it work wherever you go. But yeah, it's a nomad lifestyle.
Have you seen where they like reconstruct a bus,
Oh yeah,
I would do that.
that's
That'd be
cool. Or like have you ever seen those tiny houses?
Those are
Those are
crazy.
super cool. They make like crates. They make 'em.
And it, yeah, dude, I don't know. It's just like, how do you fit on it? It's, yeah. I mean, it's just good design or good engineering, whatever, right? Or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Have you? We talked about this last time a little bit. You said, I don't remember where you said you would live if you could live anywhere.
Oh man. If I could live anywhere, I really don't know off the top of my head. Definitely somewhere more coast. I'm not a huge beach person. Like I don't like going all the time, but I do like the weather, and I do like enjoying like a good pier, or there's usually good food around there too, like seafood.
You've been to Santa Cruz?
Usually good. Yeah, Santa Cruz is cool. Santa Cruz is cool. It's getting a little rougher,
Yeah.
but
I haven't been there in years, but that used to be the place. My friends used to like to go there all the time. We'd go skate out there. And
Beach Boardwalk, baby.
yep. San Diego's cool. Too expensive though. I don't want that.
You were a skater or what?
Oh yeah, I broke. I think both of my wrists at one time or another. One and then the other. Yeah, I fractured this one. I have torn ligaments in this one. It's a skate. But I can't do anything anymore. I don't even try. But I used to.
I've never broken bone line.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you skate?
No.
Oh, there you go. It's the stupidest thing you can do.
I did it for maybe a couple months when I was younger. It was probably 6th grade, 7th grade. All I did was the ollie. So,
That's cool. That's more than some people.
I was a fad. I was one of those guys who just did things for the fad, here and there.
Try it out.
Yeah. And then my mom, I was an only child. And then, so it was me and my mom, Well, I don't know if my dad was a bad kid. But either way, so it was more like, yeah, go ahead, do it,
That's cool.
Which was cool.
Yeah, that freedom. Try it out.
Did guitar for a little bit, but I just did not have the patience. I think I had ADHD or something. But I just did not have the patience. I was just like, nah. We would do it, and then he'd be like, yeah, just practice. And I would never practice.
Well, did you take lessons or just do it?
Yeah, no, it was lessons through someone from my church.
Okay.
So he was the guitarist, and he would come over and teach me.
That's cool.
But
That's sweet. I never had lessons or anything. I just got the first instrument I got. I think I was 12, and I kept bothering my parents for the piano, and then I just picked it up. It had the little lights follow around, so I learned kind of that kind of stuff. And I just had an ear for it, so I kind of picked it up a little bit more. And then I was 16, picked up the guitar, tried to get into it. I hated the guitar for a long time, man. I think I played for a year straight, just trying to teach myself and figuring out how to change the chords. And I couldn't change fast enough between, and I was like, fuck this. I just stopped playing for years. And then I picked it back up again a couple of years ago, and it's been probably one of the best things for me. I feel like I used to draw a lot too, but I never felt like I was good at drawing, so I stopped doing that. And music kind of replaced that. I felt like I was satisfied at the end of the day when I would make music. I didn't feel satisfied by drawing, even though it was a lot of fun.
It was just more recreation.
Yeah.
Hey, well, some things are just for, just I'm shitty at it, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
Some things it's
Oh yeah, and still doodle stuff. It's one of those things. It's if you like to do it, you never really stop doing it. But I don't think I can pursue it as much as I'd like to try to pursue music. But skateboarding's one of those things too. I'm done. I've only got one body, and I abused it a little too hard.
That
so I'm trying to dial it back.
Yeah. I don't think I could ever do skateboarding just because it's too quick. You can just break something in a second. I guess that's any sport, but
yeah,
I feel skateboarding, you got no pads, you got nothing on.
Skateboarding is something else. I don't even know how I did that or why I would do that. If it wasn't around the friends I was around, I definitely wouldn't have. And then when I started drinking and skating, that was a lot easier to be it doesn't hurt, but it does hurt later on.
So that's how they do it. That's the trick.
That's the trick.
I had no idea.
Oh man, San Diego. I only went to the skate parks in San Diego like a couple times because I was already pretty much done by then. But one time I went and these kids were smoking a bunch of weed, and I was smoking with them. But somebody popped the board up and it like smacked the dude on his ankle mid-sentence, and he was talking. He was like, "Dude, ow," and like went right back into his story. They were so numb from it. It was great. It was just like, yeah, those guys.
That's the trick, baby.
That's it. I didn't have weed when I was smoking. I only had alcohol, but that probably would have made the difference.
Now we know. Maybe we can start it up again.
Yeah, no way. I'll break all my bones now.
So you only broke both your wrists?
Yeah.
Which one
I
hurt
broke
more?
this one. This one got fractured, and I tore ligaments in this one. This one didn't break. I just tore ligaments in 2 separate times, so stupid.
Which one hurt more?
I should have stopped. Huh?
Which one hurt more?
This one, definitely. Fractured. I had to get a cast and everything.
Oh, shit.
But that's the only bone
So what,
I've
that
ever
one was just a
broken.
sling?
This one I didn't do anything for. I went, they x-rayed it, and it said that the ligaments were torn and that they heal on their own. I just took medicine for it.
That's crazy.
I think it was actually
Our body
here.
is fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's really weird how it'll heal itself too. Like
Maybe we're the lizard.
we are lizards. We're the lizard people. The reptilians, after all.
God damn.
It's really cool how like if you stop smoking cigarettes, because I pick it up and put them down. It's one of those things I can't really stop doing. Tried, but try to stop smoking. I just have shitty lungs in general. I have asthma. And
Did you start when you were younger?
What was I when I first started smoking? Probably 17. And I never smoked like heavily, but just like if I was stressed out or if I was going through stuff at the time, I'd start smoking more and more. And I'd be like, gotta stop. I put it away. But that's just continued forever. So like, I just think that's really cool though, because people who do smoke like packs a day, if they stop smoking for like 2 years, their lungs return to like 85% capacity or something.
No way, that's crazy.
It's a weird stat, and it's like they just heal really well. Unless, of course, unless you get cancer within that time. But I don't know how.
Dude, some people push through though.
Some people with cancer heal, yeah.
No, I mean just.
Oh, with the
cigarettes.
packs? I don't know how they do
My
it.
fucking cousin's grandma. She's not my grandma directly. So my cousin's grandma smokes like packs a day. And
Committed,
she is like, I don't know how old she is already. Got sick. They put her on a thing.
Still
Like oxygen. Still.
It's crazy.
Like till the end, I'm like, yo.
I mean, how much? At what point do you say that's enough? I mean, I don't know.
Or even cut.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but that's addiction. Then is what it is because they do it.
Like, that's funny because they only smoke like half a cigarette anyway.
Really? I smoke mine to the bone, but that's why I don't smoke the whole packet a week. You know what I mean? I could try to space that shit out.
Fucking pack a day at least.
That's crazy, man. But I understand. I mean, I guess when people are stressed out or they don't know why they're stressed out, like my dad used to smoke a lot, and like he's trying to quit right now, and but he was one of those pack a day guy for like 2 years, and I was like, you gotta stop. How are you doing that? Like, but he drives a truck, so like they're just smoking on the road, and I understand. Yeah, that lifestyle, how people do that, but it's not good. I don't know what it would take.
So he's stopping now? He's having a hard time?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's having a...
He has patches and stuff, or?
No, he always just tries to quit cold turkey. And I've told him the gum or whatever, but I don't know if he does.
You gotta take something. That's gotta hurt you. Especially on the road.
Oh, well, he's off work right now. I think he fell off the truck and smacked his neck.
Not nice.
He's got like bulging discs in his neck right now or something like that. So he's going through lawyers and he's having a down time, but he'll get around it. He's got. I told my mom, I'm like, this is a good time for him to sort some shit out anyway. Then just take it easy. I think that older generation like only knows how to like go, because I have a couple of my friends' dads are just like, anytime I see them, they're just like working or doing stuff, and it's like, you guys ever just like relax? You guys ever just like calm down? But
I don't know why. Like I said, the older generations, they think there's like no rest.
it's like, I don't know if it was like beaten into them or something. Or
definitely in my day, I know that. I mean, maybe not hard work, but he was beaten. So something was beaten in there.
Yeah, I think it's horrible, but I think my parents were also hit, and I think that's something that probably fucked that whole generation up. Because that's the common denominator between a lot of them. Actually, yeah, my other friend's dad, who also just goes, was also hit, and it's like, yeah, you can't beat your kids.
It's because they feel like they're in trouble just for being idle, for existing.
Sure, that's sad.
So then it's like, I need to have something accomplished.
Got to do something.
But then it's like, oh, guess what? You're never gonna feel accomplished because you want money as your accomplishment.
Yeah, the work's never done either.
Money, yeah, it's never gonna.
There's never a stopping point.
Yeah, dude. I mean, my dream job. Sorry to Enterprise, I start fucking next week.
Hey-o.
My dream job is no job.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go to work and be a good employee because guess what? We're all cogs in the machine, and I get to choose this one.
There you go.
Because it pays my bills.
Wow.
So
summed up right. I think that's really how it is.
literally, I mean, it's just the one. You know, like you said, the mushroom thing. Everybody I talk to does mushrooms are like, yeah, dude, we're one big machine. And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. Like, I see it. Like, we're all just choosing which cog we want to. You get to choose which cog you want to be. Literally.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's like.
Pick your poison at least.
No, yeah, 100%. No matter what, you're gonna either, or if not, guess what? You can be the thrown out cog on the side of the road.
Sure.
I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Not saying it's fun. It's not at all, and it sucks, and it's like you can't.
But there's the option. Sure.
Yeah, and people do take it. Some people are not. Maybe some people are like not optional. Maybe it's like they're something wrong, whatever. But
yeah, life happens to some people too.
Yeah. But for the most part, what I'm saying is, you have an option.
Yeah, and what you do is equally as important as why you do it.
Yeah, and oh man, dude, intention. I feel like intention to me is sometimes more important because you can lavish me with gifts, but if it's just for the intention of keeping me around because you are afraid of being alone, then it's like, what are these gifts really meaningful, or are they meaning that you won't be alone?
Sure. Yeah. What's the intention behind something?
Yeah, intention is a lot. And I don't know. That's why I try to be big on like being honest with others, obviously, but like myself first, because I feel like that's the whole thing. Is the people who lie to themselves. It's they have to lie to others so that they can make their lie truth, you know what I mean? Or because they have to keep the lie going.
Yeah, it's a whole charade. It's like juggling at that point. How many lies can you juggle before you realize, like, the best way to live is light? You live lighter when you're telling the truth. You don't go, no, I didn't lie. How much easier is it to just be upfront about as much as you can?
Mm-hmm. It definitely takes the weight off. It's just putting weight on. People just like to put the weight on. Don't know why. Yeah,
I think some people are into that reality show lifestyle. They like drama going on at all times. It's like, I don't want that. That's like, what TV's for. I'll watch them deal with that because I know that there are people who are constantly living that lifestyle and trying to jump through those hoops for some reason. But it's hard enough for me just to fucking go from point A to point B sometimes. It's like, I just want it as simple as possible. I really can't deal with all the complication. And when I find people in my life that start complicating things, then it's where it's like, I like you as a person, but I gotta keep my distance because I can't always be around like that anchor type person because I'm already sinking, man. It's hard enough for me to keep my head above water.
Yeah.
I don't even think, and that's a sad thing, but those kind of anchor energy sucking people, I don't think they even understand that. And so it's really sad because it's like, I don't want to have to not be around you. I understand that you don't even realize what you're doing, but there has to be a point where you go, okay, so you got to figure that out for yourself then, because I got my own stuff to do.
No, 100%. The way, yeah, because I have family members who, the way I see it is, their parents were the anchor, and they're the chain, and they're just stuck. You can break off and maybe float up, but you decided to stay attached. And sometimes when they detach, it's way too late. It's way too low, and they're still down there with them. You know what I mean? They just stay down there.
Yeah, it's tricky. I guess everybody's story is different, but I think everybody owes it to themselves to travel as light as possible for themselves, or take on as much as you want. If you're the kind of person who can deal with all that kind of stuff, then by all means keep doing it. But I think we're in such a tricky time right now that most people are like, okay, I gotta kind of preserve myself here.
I guess I just want honesty, man. I like when people are like just because I feel like it's the path to being yourself.
Yeah.
Do
you feel like
you seen that movie? Shit, The Invention of Lying.
Yeah, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Man.
Good one. Sometimes I feel like
We don't have sex right now.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes this next generation behind us doesn't understand that you can say something and not mean it. They're the opposite way. They just say one thing entirely, and it's always like it's either this or it's not. And I feel like TikTok kind of strips them of that idea of, sometimes sarcasm,
Nuance.
Yeah, the nuances of sarcasm or of a joke. They don't understand the differences, but
like I can say these words and not believe a single thing.
Right. And obviously, it's not from. I mean, sometimes people are malicious, but I feel like obviously, you and I feel like you get a good sense of. You seem like you're a good bullshit detector. Like you can tell when somebody's shitting you, and it's like, dude, just be straight. I hate when I come across people who are like trying to be phony. And it's like, okay, this is. I won't even call them out a lot of time. It's just like this is just embarrassing,
Honestly, so I let them play. I let them play. Play whatever act you want to play. I'm just gonna enjoy the performance, whatever.
Yeah, it's funny.
I guess for me, it's like I'm gonna learn your character, whatever character you're trying to present right now, because that's what it is. It's like you don't want to if you want to present yourself, then I'll learn whatever you're presenting. I guess because there's a reason why they're doing it. So it's like let me learn the character, and then more often than not, I can learn the reason why they're doing it.
You see what's going on. You read between the lines.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
It's usually just so apparent. It's like right in your face. It's cause and effect. It's fucking Darwin. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I think like
big truck, little peanut. It's the same thing.
Yeah, the same shit. It really is. Or those guys that got those truck nuts on their trucks. It's like, okay, cool, dude.
Sorry you lost yours. I don't know.
I don't know what happened to you, but I know that something led you to this point. Any other questions?
I honestly don't. We've been going for a few hours now.
Pretty good, I think.
I'm sure there's a lot more. I mean, there's obviously a lot more about you.
Yeah,
but
sure.
In the whatchamacallit? How do people say it? In the something of time. It's like a saying. I'm stupid, and I smoke too much. In the essence of time, whatever. Because of time restraints.
Yep.
We will probably. I mean, we could do a part 2 if you want to.
Yeah, let's do it again sometime.
Another time,
I'd be open to that. But I mean, yeah, this was easy. It's just like spitballing.
It's
like good
that's
friends.
all it is. See, that's all I want is people to come. I feel like people have it way easier. I mean, that's what podcasts are. Conversation when it's one-on-one.
Yeah.
But they're always talking about someone else, or they're talking about celebrities, or they're talking about I don't know, whatever the fuck they're talking about. I don't care about.
Yeah.
I want to know about people that are regular fucking people. So
the fact that you think I'm a regular person made it all worthwhile.
Oh man, see, we made someone's day today.
There we go.
Well, you're regular so far.
I'll take it.
If I find something different, I'll let you.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's all right there. So
exactly. I'm gonna look back.
You're gonna see it. You're gonna look at it. You're gonna go to like 33 minutes, and you're gonna see that I have reptilian eyes.
I was gonna say the exact thing. I was gonna say like you blink this way or something.
You're gonna see the screen tear. You can tell that I'm wearing a flesh suit.
When you came in, it staticked.
Yeah.
When you came in the screen,
it flickered.
No, but
yeah. Well, thanks. This was good
talking to you, Angel. Love
you.
you.
Love you too.
Love this man.
One of the best people I've met since I've been back.
Wow.
Definitely.
That means a lot. I only met him like a year ago, maybe tops.
I don't think it was that long ago. Yeah. Not
Maybe like 6 months tops.
Yeah. So what? Is this like a fourth time hanging out?
Nah. Maybe actually.
I think so.
There's been a few more times. Either way, this is our first time hanging out by ourselves.
That's
but
true. Well,
I think it went well. You guys can let
effortless.
us know. You one person. I'm sure
Yeah.
it's gonna be me.
Or me.
2 people will be watching
This interview sucks.
this. Gonna berate me? Your own interview?
Delete.
This is gonna be called Chapter Angel. Fuck. I forgot your last name already.
Camberos.
Camberos.
You just put C.
Okay.
That'll work for me. I like the anonymity.
All right, that's fine. Hey, yeah, like I said, I already told you before. You know, whatever you want to put out there.
Cool. Yeah.
Well,
Thanks for having me. Later, guys.
see ya. Ugh.